Everybody, it's Tyler here at the Lakeshore Qualifier, checking in team number 6381, Red Raider Robotics, and I'm here with Andrew and Jacob. We're going to be talking about this 2021 robot built for this year. Of course, going through their intake, of course, through their hopper, into their shooter. A lot of cool aesthetics for this robot. Looking forward to hearing more about it all here on Behind the Bumpers.
Giving you a voice.
Making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
We'd like to thank Stryker for their continued support of First Updates Now. Stryker's Internship Portal is now open and available. Discover internships and rotational programs located around the world, including their headquarters in Michigan, when you go to careers.stryker.com and click on Students and Graduates. We'd also like to thank Kettering University. Kettering University is where robotics students come for their education. Over 30% of those who attend Kettering University were in high school robotics, and you can keep going with their BattleBots, VexU, esports, and First Mentorship programs. If you are a U.S. student grades 8 through 12, scan the QR code to stay up to date on info and events happening at Kettering and get a free Kettering t-shirt when you sign up by December 12th, 2021.
So starting on this robot, we're going to be covering the intake here. So talk to me a little bit more about the design behind it, the compliant wheels that went into it, everything that goes into this intake.
Okay, so this intake, we are able to go over the bumper. This is an over-the-bumper intake, which would work as such. A couple pneumatics are able to push the bar forward, and we were able to spin all of them to intake a ball.
So looking at this intake design with the over the bumper, you guys have a pretty hefty design here. So we've seen teams that have done the more flexible to take a hit or something like that. What have you seen from this rigid design?
Not too many problems, actually. It was a material we had on hand, and we were able to test some of our manufacturing processes with that this year. So we haven't seen any major issues yet.
Sure. So as we go in to this hopper system here, talk to me about like your belting that goes into it. I see a lot of 3D printing as well too. And question, I didn't get a chance to see, do both the belts rotate inwards, or how do you prevent jamming on your robot?
We actually learned a little bit from this last match, actually. We were able to use this mechanism as it rolls up to be able to shoot balls out if there were ever a jam.
Sure.
But both belts do rotate inwards towards our uptake mechanism and hooded flywheel. That is essentially how the mechanism works, and then it's also at a slope to allow the balls to.
Yeah. And how about some of your material that went into this?
I'm not quite sure on what type of plastic it is, but it is mostly plastic, and like you said before, the 3D printing.
And then looking from these belts wise on this, was this your first choice, or how did you kind of iterate and decide what type of belt you wanted to go with?
I'll talk about how we got to this design. This was certainly not our first choice of what we wanted to do for the intake. We were going to have a carousel system,
sure,
but we built this turret first, and we realized that's just not going to fit. So eventually we landed on the hopper at an incline, and we noticed that it got jammed quite a lot. So we went through multiple prototypes, and we landed on the belt system because it gave us the least issues, and we pretty much have a 100% success rate on getting the balls into the uptake so it can shoot every time.
Well, let's continue on into that outtake area, and I'm very interested to hear about your hood on here. This might be the first hood I've seen in an FRC robot that's using Go Build a servos to actually adjust it. So tell me a little bit more about all that.
Well, we start here with the uptake. We have just a few motors and wheels down here that basically picks up the ball and throws it up into the shooter, which obviously right here you have these motors that are spinning really, really, really fast. Now, for our aiming on the front, we have a limelight that helps us position ourselves so that we can obviously get the ball into the target.
And is your limelight, is it just doing from positioning or also calculating distance as well too?
It's just from like left and right, yeah. And so our hood here on the top, this allows us to shoot from pretty much any distance, from right underneath the target to maybe even in the trench area. And how it works is we have 2 servos on each end.
Yeah.
All of this is 3D printed, and this hood that lifts up and down, I can show you right now. And we have limits placed in the code so that it doesn't overcorrect so that it breaks. We broke a lot of these. We have a few spares.
Sure, all right.
Yeah, on the driver's station.
And then talking about, looks like a couple Fairline wheels on here. These are pretty heavy wheels for that. So how did you figure out you wanted to go with that? Because there's always some speed up time. But I think that kicker probably helps out with that a little bit too.
Yes, yeah. Well, basically, we wanted to, with this hood design especially, we wanted to be able to shoot from a very, very far distance, so we had to go big. We had to go big and quick and fast as well.
Well, Red Raider Robotics, one of the teams to look out here for at the Lakeshore Qualifier event. Thanks for taking the time. Tell us about your robot. So good luck here, and of course, any future events we see as well. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thanks to Kettering University for their support of this video. Don't just sit in class. Kettering University is the only school in the US that allows you to work as an engineer your first year with their 3-month on, 3-month off co-op programs. If you are a US student grades 8 through 12, scan the QR code to stay up to date on info and events happening at Kettering and get a free Kettering t-shirt when you sign up by December 12th, 2021. We'd like to thank Stryker for their continued support of First Updates Now. Stryker's Internship Portal is now open and available. Discover internships and rotational programs located around the world, including their headquarters in Michigan, when you go to careers.stryker.com and click on Students and Graduates. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow and check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.